on the screen, and some of you may be upset by that because you enjoyed it. I'm sorry. So, tonight we are going to talk about my tattoos and the very crazy story that surrounds my tattoos. Now, it does get a little bit intense. There is some death that we have to talk about in this video. So, there's that. That's not your thing, I totally understand. It's not gory, or it's not like a true crime case. But let's just get into it, shall we? So, I currently have not one, not two, but three tattoos. Three tattoos. I have one on my back that is my largest tattoo. It's kind of like on my shoulder blade. I have one on each hip, but they are very low, so it's nothing I would be able to show you guys, unfortunately, or we'd get demonetized. So I never knew if I really wanted a tattoo, but my first one kind of just happened. It was very much like sporadic, and we're gonna get into that story. And then once I had one, I got another and another, but I haven't had a recent tattoo in at least 8 years. So I've had all my tattoos for a while now. I may get one more, like a super tiny one, and I have an idea as to what and where I want to get it, but that's a secret. You'll have to see if I decide to get it. I might get it after New Year's, so we'll see, but that'll probably be it then for tattoos. So my mom does not like tattoos. It's not that she doesn't like or looks down on people that have them. She just doesn't prefer them. And she really did not want me to get any, but I did. And I kept it from her until she ended up seeing it. And she was like, "Oh my god, what is that? Is that a tattoo? Is that real?" I'm like, "Yeah, about that." My poor mom. But let's get into the first tattoo. I have a little brush here that I might do some mic brushing with a little bit, very delicately. So if you don't like mic brushing, it's not going to be harsh, and I'm not going to do it the entire video, just very sporadically. So the first tattoo that I ever got was very much on a whim. I believe I was drinking, which I did a lot back then. Me and my friends were always drinking or doing something we shouldn't have been doing. But yeah, there was me and, let me count, my 4 other friends. There were 5 of us that were always together, and there were a couple other lingering friends, but they weren't with us as much as us 5 were together. Us 5 were inseparable. We were doing everything together. We would like all sleep at one of our friends' houses for like days on end and not leave and not go home, and it was just a blast. But you know, like I said, I got into some things down the line that I was partying too much. sister was dating a tattoo artist, and he also did piercings, and that is who did my nose ring. And right now I have a hoop, a white gold hoop, but I do like to change it out here and there. I haven't in a while because it was hard for me to get this hoop in, so I'm like scared to take it out because I don't want to take it out and then miss it and not be able to get it back in, if that makes sense. But so I ended up getting my nose pierced, and my bestest friend ended up getting her nose pierced on the other side. And you know, we had went to him before for the piercings, and we knew he was very reputable. Everybody that lives near us or lived near us back then knew of his tattoo work, and everybody pretty much went to him to get tattoos. So we were all driving around the one night, and we're like, you know what? Let's go get like friendship tattoos. And they're all gonna be a little bit different, but have something that's the same. So we all got inspirational quotes and like a little design, and our design is the exact same, but our quotes are different. So, except for me and like my bestest friend, we got the same exact tattoo, except mine's on the left side and hers is on the right side. Hers is on the right. Hers is on the right side. R-I-G-H-T. The right. So we go and get the tattoos, and I was so nervous because I had never had one, and I didn't want to like regret it once it was done, you know. But my friend went first, and once I seen hers, I was like, okay, I want that, and I wanted to be a part of this friendship tattoo, right? I don't want to be the only one that was like, no, I don't want to do it, you know. And so I did it, and of course it hurt, but it didn't hurt to the extent that I thought it was gonna hurt. But me drinking could have played a part in that. I mean, I assume it did. So we got the tattoos, and that was that, right? So then my second tattoo comes into play. You guys like my Christmas nails, by the way. I got an army green with an ombre glitter. Really pretty. I always get like a nude, so I figured I would switch it up. Match my eyes. A little bit of a Christmassy vibe. Christmas. eventually. And all my friends are like, don't do it, you're crazy, you know, you're probably not gonna be with them, and, you know, you're young. So I'm like, meh, I'm gonna do it. Thank goodness we're still together, and we've been together for almost 12 years now, which is like crazy to even think about. On and off, we had a little break. A little break. We were broken up for almost a year at one point, but yeah, it's been almost 12 years. Time flies. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not hearing you guys. I'm getting this tattoo. It's my body. It's what I want to do. I'll just get it really small. And I picked out a really gorgeous cursive writing, and he sketched it out for me first, and it looks so beautiful. And I'm like, let's do it. So I remember it like it was yesterday, even though I was intoxicated to like a bad extent. I remember that tattoo because it hurt. I almost passed out. That's how bad it was. I had to have him stop because it was that bad. It was extremely painful. And like I said, it's on the right side of my lower hip. And I thought, well, it's super small, and I had one done on my hip before, so like, how bad could it be? I don't know what the difference was between this one and my other side, or if it just has something to do with my body. I don't know. But what I do know is it was bad. I got through it. I didn't know how I was gonna get through it, but I knew I had to. I'm like, Rachel, put your big girl pants on. You can't have half of a tattoo on your body. Like, you need to finish this. So I did. And it was rough. Like, my friends, after I got that done, they're like, yeah, I think I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna get a tattoo. Like, everybody was so scared because they seen, like, what was happening to me. I literally almost passed out. They said I got super white in the face. It was just bad experience, but beautiful tattoo nonetheless. Tattoo I also got at a tattoo party, but this tattoo party, I wasn't very familiar with the people that were there. I went with one of my girlfriends. And she said it was her cousin that was going to be doing it. And, you know, he had his license and everything, and we seen the certificate, and, you know, he had his little kit and was cleaning the needles in front of us and everything, so he was cleaning his equipment in front of us and everything, so I felt comfortable, but it still was very reckless, and I do not recommend doing such things. Just extremely reckless. And I, again, wasn't in my right mind at this time. So we go to this random place, and there's like people all over the place drinking and partying and somewhere around there. He was about 5 or 6 years older than me at the time of doing my tattoo. And he ended up dying not long after, probably like 4 years after he did my tattoo. He dies. And they don't know the cause of death, okay? And like I said, he was engaged to my friend's sister, and she was destroyed. They had kids together, and he went to sleep one night and just never woke up. I don't know if they ended up doing an autopsy or not, but he is gone. He is no longer with us. Okay, so that was my first tattoo. My second tattoo, the artist who did that tattoo just died last year. Again, around the same age group. He was probably in his early 30s when he died. Like what? And again, they couldn't figure out the cause of death. Like what? Both of these people are from like the same neighborhood, essentially. Like they grew up in the same place. They both were tattoo artists. And 2 of my 3 tattoos were done by them. Both dead. We're not done. Okay. My third tattoo. My third tattoo. The girl, the girl's cousin who did the tattoo got into a terrible car accident. They didn't end up dying, but they almost did. They ended up having to get blood transfusions, all this crazy stuff. They made it through, but it was like a miracle that they made it through. So, but the girl, my friend, that I went with to get the tattoo, the father of her child ended up getting killed, and they still don't know who killed him. That was like probably 7 years ago that he got killed, and it was right in their driveway in his car. And across the street from their house there was cameras, because there's a high school there, and there was cameras for the high school, and the cameras happened to be like right on the house, and you can see in the footage, it's online and everything, you can see 2 people get out of the car, walk up to the driveway, and then walk back out a couple minutes later, but they still can't find out who did it. Just crazy. And she was completely heartbroken. It was like the love of her life, and she had 2 twin babies and another baby by him. She was left to raise them by herself. And then this year, I believe, she ended up passing away, and she was in her mid-20s, like mid to late 20s, and she's gone. She's dead. So, my first tattoo artist died. Second tattoo artist dead. Third one almost died, but the girl that I went with to get the